My name is Jordan Castro, sponsored by MVP Disc, and you're listening to the Chain Clankers podcast.
You're listening to the Chain Clankers podcast with your hosts, Quentin Ferris and Horatio Gonzalez. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Chain Clankers. Welcome in, everyone, to the Chain Clankers podcast. I'm your host, Q, here as always with Horatio Gonzalez. We've got a fantastic episode for you guys today. This is an episode where you're going to remember some things. You're going to remember why you like disc golf, but you're going to remember some things that you're going to be able to take to the course as well. We had Jordan Castro on today's episode. Super fun meeting and talking and just picking Jordan's mind. Horatio, what can the viewers expect from this episode?
Yeah, so if you guys follow Jordan Castro on Instagram or on social media, he is very big into positive mindset, into good mental habits. And today we talked a lot about that. And a lot of the issues that you guys in rec league, or league, you just play league with buddies or you go out and just play for fun. A lot of those issues that you're having mentally or, you're getting stressed out about, they're having at that level, at the pro level, and they're battling those too. And today we talked about that, and he kind of just goes in depth about how he focuses on mindset and what he does to be able to have better rounds and to, I guess, just remember that we're all playing disc golf and why we started playing disc golf in the first place, and to just have fun. But it was a lot of good talk, very positive vibes, super fun guy. Thank you so much, Jordan, for coming on. And I had a lot of fun. But with that, listen to the whole thing. Rewind if you need to listen to a couple things over. You're definitely going to want to hear. But with that, let's get Jordan on.
Welcome in, Jordan. How are we doing, my man? Finally got you on the podcast. Super excited to have you. The first time we've talked to somebody who is representing MVP. How are we doing today?
We're doing great, just kind of hanging out and finally get to play on the podcast.
Nice. We were, just before we started recording, we were kind of talking a little bit about what you're doing next weekend. So why don't you let everyone else know what kind of event you're going to be playing in next weekend?
Yeah, I'm playing. It's called the Big Orange Challenge. It's at Vista del Camino in Scottsdale, Arizona, kind of where I'm kind of living now and moving to. So really excited about that. And it's a C tier with probably, I think it's like 10,000 rated pros. So it's at Vista, and the par is like 65, 70, and it's extended. So I'm super excited about playing that.
How is that a C tier? Is this just like so much talent out there or what?
Well, the locals just want to run a tournament, and it's pretty much going to be 100% payout too. So nice. Then I think they're kind of like covering the fees too. So no money's getting taken out. So it was a little high C tier. I think I paid like $100 or something for C tier.
Wow.
So normally I don't play C tiers then, but like at Vista,
yeah.
And just kind of, I wanted to play. Like, I'm super excited and just want to play.
That's
Nice.
where like Barella and Austin play like every other day, don't they?
Yeah, yep. Adam and Varela, yeah, they play
Adam,
that
yeah.
often. They hit me up. They text me all the time, like, "Hey, you want to come to go to Vista? Meet me at Vista." I was like, "Can't, man. Busy working. Just a lot of stuff going on."
Yeah. You're like, sorry, guy, I gotta be at work right now, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Is that gonna be your last event this year, or are you gonna try to do any more?
I think that might be the last one, but like there's so many tournaments around here, like starting up in January. I think like the Shelly Sharps coming up, the Maricopa. So like there's really no off season, but like working out and playing constantly, just getting ready, because Vegas is coming up quick. We're December already, and it's in February.
Yeah,
got here and get better.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy how that off season really does fly by, especially out there in the western part of the country. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all's winters are a nice 70 degrees or something like that, man. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, like right now it's 65 and it's like chilly. So like I got my hoodie on, my little pullover, my joggers on, and like that's what I'm playing in. So like then once it gets like morning, it's like 45, and then night, like once the sun goes down, so it gets cold. So it's like, I'm from Minnesota, I know all about it, but
yeah,
my blood hasn't not custom to it. Not ready for it yet.
Yeah,
But
I
like
was
Minnesota
excited.
right now is what, 10 degrees, 12 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah, I was excited today because it was like 47 and sunny. So all I needed was a light hoodie, and I was like, let's go play.
Yeah.
But that was good weather
Yeah,
for
like
us here.
yeah, like being in the Midwest, people are like, oh, it's playing 45. That's a perfect day. Then other people are just like, dude, I don't know how you play it under 50 degrees.
Yeah.
Like they'll never understand.
Yeah, that's true. Especially you'll see it on Instagram, and definitely the East Coast guys will definitely be the first ones to let you know. But the snow, disc golf, and stuff like that, the folk
Yeah.
on the West Coast don't even know what that's like, man. It is not
Yeah.
fun out there when you really have those gloves on, beanie on, like you are actually cold
Yeah.
out there. You are wearing a neck gaiter because it is cold outside. Like, yeah, man,
It's a
that is
different
that's
game.
disc golf.
Yeah. It's fun, but like I don't like playing it. I used to be diehard, like playing disc golf every day, winter, rain, shine, snow, every time. Then like I think the coldest I played was like -60 without wind chill. I was like, I'm never doing that again.
Oh, no, that's not
But
fun.
now it's just like I get to pick and choose my events and pick and choose when I want to play. So
Yeah.
it's fine.
That's nice. That's nice. Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Best of luck to you in that.
Hey.
It'll be exciting. Is anyone going to be covering it? GK Pro, Parse?
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
sure
if they
what's
are,
going
let us
on.
know. Let us know. Would definitely
Yeah.
love to watch that.
I got it. I kind of got in last second, so it's just like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'll take it.
Nice. Well, let's go ahead and kind of kick things off here. So let's talk a little bit about your journey in disc golf. When did disc golf kind of started for you? When was the first time you really ever picked up a disc or you went out to
It
the
was
course or anything like that?
2009-ish, 2010. So it was about like freshman year, like middle school-ish time. So like I played football, basketball, baseball. I was a bigger guy, so like those were the sports that keep me active. Then I just, all right, I'm gonna start working. So I got a little part-time job. My mom was just kind of yelling at me, just like, hey, it's time for you to grow up and get a job. So I started working part-time at Subway or whatever. Then I just like wanted to be active still. And one day, one of my friends from middle school, he just like, hey, you want to go play this game? I was just like, sure. Then like the first time out there, we like, it was just so fun. I was addicted. I was like, how do you do that? Like, I just wanted to learn because I'm so competitive. I wanted to get better. And we were taking a long time, just like normal people, just like, you go out for the first time, you're not going to be good. Then we let this guy play through, and I think it was like hole 7. One of my favorite holes, like just now because of the whole story. I was like, hey, you go play through. We're taking too slow. I'm kind of new. Then he got a hole in one. He aced the hole right in front of us. And like after seeing that, like, did that just happen? Like, because you hear about it, you see about it, and then it happens. And you just like, once you see that flight, you're hooked. So like I told myself I'm gonna do that one day. Then it took me like 4 or 5 months. Then I did. And I was just, ever since I did that, I was just like, I've been hooked. Been so hooked over the flight of the disc once that happened.
Wow.
So you were playing that kind of in high school. How often were you playing?
So I was pretty much working like 6 to 4. So like I would pretty much go after work. Then on weekends I rarely worked. So, and like we had a whole bunch of kids like around my age that I saw, and I was like, all right, I know these guys. Let's go play with them and just like being competitive. Let's play for $1. Let's play for a disc. If I beat you, I get your disc or whatever. So like that started a huge thing. And so, yeah, there would be times in the summer where I would go down at 9 a.m., then get home at 9 p.m., just constantly get down there, just trying to play and just kind of have fun. And summertime, like kids want to be kids and just hang out. So.
Horatio, I'm going to tell you this right now, and everyone listening at home, I'm going to tell you this right now. I know we're starting to do more stuff on YouTube. I know we're starting to film more videos. That ain't happening. I am not putting a disc on the line. Ain't nothing on my bag. I'm not doing that, and I'm not going to take one of your discs.
You got plenty to give up.
No, definitely not.
Yeah,
definitely
that's what we
not.
thought too. Just like there'd be one day where I go down with 3 discs, I lose them all, and go to the shop and get some. Then the next day I go home with 100 discs.
Yeah.
Just because like we'll play doubles, play singles, and like the course I grew up on wasn't like the biggest or the hardest. So like every hole is reachable, but like it's a birdie or die now. It's just like you don't birdie a hole one, you lose.
Yeah.
Like, then we played like 2-on-2, 6-on-6, or 9-on-9. So it's just like one person parks in, you just ace run it. So like there's so many times I would lose a disc over just an ace or like a spit through or just like random stuff. But it's crazy to look back on all those. And now we're all really good friends and we're all competitive. It's crazy to see.
Nice. That's awesome.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
I couldn't imagine having 18 out there all on one hole, just everyone just absolutely going for it.
Yeah, it was so crazy. We still like now we used to do like disc and cash or whatever. Now we're playing bag tags, and just because we always did disc and money, which is like that's not fun anymore because we did it so often.
Yeah.
So just like now we have a local club, now we do bag tags. So it's just kind of
nice.
And we're all average rating around the same team too. So that's
how long have you done bag tag for?
So we just kind of recently done bag tags recently for like Minnesota and like my area, just because like our clubs weren't all together or whatever, because like it was like a battle between the sides. So now we're officially a club. So we just put in some new Mach 7s at my local course. Then we're starting with another one probably later next year. So it's coming along. I'm gonna help redo all that stuff. It's exciting just because like I grew up on those courses and now I can finally be in a position to give back and kind of help improve that because the game's just evolving.
Yeah, and real quick for our viewers, we do tend to have a lot of newer players or something like that. Could you kind of explain what bag tag is and maybe how some people locally could get involved in their own local bag tag leagues?
Yeah, so it's just pretty much like you can purchase them anywhere, any like website. I'm sure there's so many, but we had ours custom made by a local guy. It's like a jewel or whatever, and it just attaches to your bag. So like I have number 1. So pretty much like at leagues, you put all the bag tags in the box or whatever, then you play around, then whoever plays the best gets the number 1 tag or whatever. Then there's like ties rules or whatever too. It just varies too. Then like say I want to play against you guys, I can cross challenge you. If I beat you in that round, I get your tag or whatever too. So it's just an extra competitive side. Just like, oh, I'm gonna take your tag, give me that number 1 tag. Then eventually that's collected. Those could be payouts towards the end of the year, which we did. I think first place was like $150. So it was just like, sweet, cool, extra little bonus for. And Minnesota has the MFA, which is the Minnesota Frisbee Association bag tag, and you can get it with the membership too. And then same concept, you can challenge anybody in the state, any division too. So
that's really cool. Does it ever get a little too competitive or out of control? Any beef?
Yeah, sometimes just because like people don't want to like give up their tag, and like I've done it before. Just like if you have the number 1 tag, everybody wants to cross challenge you when you show up to a tournament too. Or I have the number 1 tag and I don't play in Minnesota at all just because I'm on tour. Like I'll play one local C tier and the number 1 holder is there, and I cross challenge him and I win, and then I get it back. So it's just like, oops, nice. I did it.
Nice. And so real quick, if someone cross challenges you, do you have to accept, or you can be like, nah, guy, I'm not doing that?
You have to accept it. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Damn, I'm just start cross challenging everyone for no reason. Hey, bro, give me that tag.
Yeah. What happens? Does anything happen if you lose? Like the person that challenges you?
So if like you challenge me and I beat you, I keep my tag or whatever. So pretty much they have to beat me no matter what.
I feel like there should be some kind of like punishment if like you challenge the number 1 player and you lose. Like I feel like you should lose a spot or something.
Give me your disc.
Or something. Otherwise, you should be challenging the number 1 player all the time.
But I mean, you never know. Like someone shoots a 1040 round and you shoot 1020. You're like, dang, dude, here you go. You deserved it. You played well.
Hold it for a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know in our local league or our tag that we're doing here in Manhattan, there was definitely some sort of beef. Maybe wasn't Manhattan, but I just remember seeing it on Facebook somewhere. I can't remember, but there was some sort of beef because whoever had number 1 would not come anymore. And so they were like hiding. And so like multiple people called them out on Facebook. It was like, no, calm down. You're going to get this smoke.
It
that's
happens.
wild.
It happens. Yeah.
Cool.
That's
So
weird.
let's talk a little bit about, your rise in disc golf. So obviously, you're in high school, you're really into it, loving how it's flying, having these really cool matches and things like that. Where is that line of going from this is fun, this is cool to do on the weekends or summer nights or whatever, to, hey, this is kind of what I want to do professionally, and I think I can actually do this?
Yeah, it was pretty much just like I just did that for fun. Then pretty much one guy saw me throw and just like, hey, you should. That's a good throw. You should play league or whatever. And I played a couple leagues, and just like normal people, you're a beginner. Then you just like you lose, you donate money, you want to get better. So I just got better instantly. Then I kept winning leagues, and just like, hey, you play this tournament, the local tournament next weekend. Signed up, then played okay, then competitive Jordan, just like, all right, next time this tournament happens here, you're going to win. Then like the next 3 months they had a tournament, like a redo or whatever, because our scene is just, there's tournaments or whatever. And I won the tournament. So I was like, all right, that felt great. Then they're like, all right, you could, then like my local guys, they run like a little pro shop or whatever too. So they gave me a first sponsorship. Then I kind of figured out the PDGA, signed up for a membership, then just looked up tournaments around my area. Then I won an 8 here in advance, but like I started with like, I played every division and won every division growing up too. So like once I knew I could compete, I played advance, won my first 8 here, then kind of like realized like, all right, let's keep it, like strive for greatness like I wanted to. And then kind of just took it more serious, and then pretty much heard about AM Nationals, AM Worlds, and took at Nationals, 4th at AM Worlds in Minnesota. So like once I hit that, I was like, all right, let's try professionally, just because like I knew I was top advanced, lower pro, and I know I can compete with the guys. Like the guys that I used to play with were all pros, and they're good pros. They did the same thing I'm doing now, is travel and tour all over the country. So they knew I had potential and just showed me kind of the ropes and took me under the wings. Then from like 2014, I played advance at the smaller tournaments, and the bigger ones I would play pro, then just like figure it out how to compete and just like do the shots I know. So from like 2014 to 2015 was just like, all right, it's time. Then now it's just like, it's crazy to be able to do what I get to do now, because I would never, like, when I first picked up a disc, I never expect this to be like a career job or travel the country every weekend.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's something that's very interesting, I guess, with a lot of athletes, but especially with disc golfers, where it's something like you love it so much, so you kind of pursue it. And I know some people we talk to, at first, it's not really like a financial decision. It's not like I'm going to go on tour because I'm going to be rich. It's more of, I love doing this and I want to see how good I can get. And I see where I want to see where I can take this. And so I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And is that similar to kind of like how it was for you?
That's how it was from like 2013, 2014. Just like I was like, there would be times where I went cash or just like weren't play well. I mean, then I just kind of accepted it. Like, it's going to happen. These are the best guys in the world too. And I figured out who everybody was just by watching YouTube, just like Paul, Simon, Eagle, just watching those guys and hearing from them. And now I'm on the card with them, which is like kind of surreal or whatever. I still get like, of course, like I'm a fan of sports, fan of disc golf. So like it still happens to me like, oh crap, I'm playing with Paul tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
If I can keep it within 5, I'm stoked, because like, think about it. He's shooting 1060, 1080. And if I shoot within 5, that's 1030, 1040. I'm fine with that. It's above my rating and just everything too. So it's crazy. Like at Waco, he shot like, I don't know, 10, 11 down, and I shot 7. I was like, I'm cool with that. I'm within 4. And like, he could have played way better, because like he had 0 shots in the fairway or whatever. And I'm throwing these clean drives, but he's just scrambling his ass off. So then the next round he shoots at 18. I was like, why couldn't you do that when I was playing, dude? That was so sick.
Yeah. So I guess something that a lot of folk in rec always, I don't know, at least myself, playing in rec and moving up, what was the moment that you kind of decided to move up divisions? Was it continuously winning tournaments and being like, all right, like this is literally too easy. Like I need to challenge myself more, or like, and also like, how long did it take you to actually win a tournament? You know, were you just gifted enough to be able to step on there and pretty much win right away, or did you have to put some work into it? Kind of talk
Yeah,
about that.
yeah. I pretty much like I wasn't winning right away. It just like the only winning was leagues, just because like there was the courses that I played every day, and like I knew every shot. But yeah, there was a lot of times where I would just lose right away or whatever. Then once I started getting better, I would like win by a stroke, 2 strokes. Then like that 2013, 2014 year, it would be like, oh sweet, I won by 5, I won by 6, I won by 7. Then like if I played bad, I still won. Like that was the crazy part. Like I played bad and I still won by 4 or whatever. Or like I beat myself.
Yeah.
Like these guys didn't outperform me. I beat myself type thing. And like I feel like that's something kind of right now how it is in my disc golf game is I know all the shots. I know everything to do. It's just like doing it or just like taking my mind out of it and just like overthinking it. Just like 200 feet of approach shots wide open. Oh, don't go too long. Then I'd leave it 40 short and miss the putt. Just like psyching myself out. But like my mental game has been so much better lately, just with a whole bunch of reading and just kind of talking with other guys on tour, like Clemens, like the travel guy I travel with all. So we talk all the time. We texted last night a little bit about everything. So it's been good. But yeah, just kind of go by the feel, and if you're ready, move up or whatever. But like, don't feel bad about like getting rushed or being called bagger, because it happens all the time. I got called bagger all the time because I think on my trophies I got like 8 or 9 advanced wins from over 6 strokes or whatever. So
Yeah, I think
just take your time, because like you can't once you go up you can't go back down. That's what I thought of it too. Like once you play pro, accept cash, you're there, you're done. Like because there's a lot of guys that I know now that moved up so fast. Like, okay, I'm gonna go pro. Like Kale, he's like, what division is for money? All right, I want to play that division. So like, he barely got any advance or AM, which is so crazy.
Yeah, because I think that's one of those things with like disc golf. Sometimes it's not super consistent. You can go out one day and play at a course and play like 5 under or something, and then go the next day and play the same course and same weather conditions and play like 10 over. And there's not really anything different to it. And I mean, it's one of those things where if you don't feel comfortable and you can't consistently, I feel like 8 wins in advanced or whatever, like you were saying, is not that many. Like if you're wanting to take it to the next level and potentially become pro, that's not that many wins in a division for you to feel comfortable and be like, I'm ready for this.
For sure.
Yeah. Also, real quick shout out to I'm pretty sure I heard you correctly, Chris Clemens, Clemonade, who was also on the show. If you haven't listened to that interview, you should also go listen to that after this interview. Great discussion with him as well about mental game and just kind of what Jordan was talking to.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely you should go listen to that if you have not done that already. So Jordan, let's talk a little bit about being on the pro tour, and kind of this at least was kind of the first year that I think a lot more people maybe recognized your name. I think that's due to the fact of a lot more people actually having eyes on disc golf this year. Unfortunately, you know, all the bad the pandemic has brought on, it has brought some good into the disc golf world, and more people playing, more people interacting with it. And so what has tour life kind of been like for you? Is this something you want to continue to do? You're going to continue to be on tour in 2021? Have you already decided what events you're going to be playing?
Yeah, I kind of haven't really like gone through any of it yet. Just kind of like enjoying this off season too. It's tough. Like I was telling my girlfriend, like you're on tour 9 months of the year and you barely see anybody. And like right now, I think I texted Chris yesterday, and he said he hasn't played since like Sunday. So he's been like 10 days without playing, which is odd because like he plays every day. Every day I'm with him when traveling, he wants to play. He's like, can we practice? To hear that, and like you play for so often every day, it's just like it's tough. It's like mentally frustrating and tough too, especially traveling and just like new course, learning everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I haven't played in like 7-8 days, which is fine with me. But like I putted in the backyard or whatever. So yeah, I plan on traveling in 2021. I just don't know what yet. There's, I think, like 4 or 5 of my best friends that I grew up playing with that I took all their discs and money in the day. They're getting married next year. They were supposed to get married like all this year, but COVID hit and the pandemic or whatever, so they kind of rescheduled. So I just got to double check on all the dates with that. Then probably leaning towards like the Midwest and the East Coast, probably 100% on the back side of the 2021 year. Then the front side of the year is just going to be a hit or miss, just kind of see when the weddings are and just kind of go from that. So me and Chris talked about it a little bit. There's a lot of like pro tour events. But yeah, like every event I want to play, I just want to get better and just perform better. I was really looking forward to playing Beaver State again. I took 5th there last year, and I was always hungry for more. I was so close from being in the top 3 or might have winning it. Same with Idlewild this year too. Like felt great about everything. Then just a couple bad holes, a couple bad shots, and just slipped down. Preserve, played well, top 15 there, and shot 10 down on the back, which I was super happy about, and just especially a top Minnesota guy finishing there too. So it's always feels great to perform well, and just having that support too with sponsors, fans, and family too watching on. So yeah, I'm excited about everything.
Yeah, because I believe it was the Preserve, right, where you were on the lead card for that one.
Chase card? Yeah, chase card, I think. Yeah, chase card for that, and Idlewild. Or lead card for Idlewild.
Lead card that was with you.
Final round, yeah.
Yeah, with Paul and
Paul,
I don't remember who else was on there.
Yeah,
Germ.
Hamas.
Yeah, Hamas and Germ, I think.
Yep.
Is there a little more pressure on those courses, on those cards, or are you just playing your game? Or are you kind of just trying to stay focused?
Usually it's pressured right away. It's like, for me, it's the first putt and the first drive that get me every time, the nerves or whatever too. But like once I get through that, it's fine. And it's just like Chris, I'm a morning person, so I prefer to get done in the morning, like between 9 and 11. That's my money zone. Like anywhere in there, let's do it. Like, but once it's like 3 o'clock, 2:30, and just like I've been sitting around all day, like on my phone, just bored. So I've been kind of like working with that, just like not being on my phone as much, just to kind of get used to it. Or just, I think Beaver State last year turned my phone off 2 days before the tournament and didn't even check anything or whatever. And then they're like, did you see your Facebook? I was like, no, I turned my phone off, like all data or whatever, just because like we weren't getting anything in the house anyway. So there's like no point of having it on. It was nice to kind of relax and just kind of chill with that. But yeah, cameras, playing with Paul, like being on the top card and like within 3 strokes of the lead or if not tournament to win that. It's a lot of pressure too. So. And like I said before, I know all the shots and know everything to do. I just have to like tell myself you can do it and just stay positive and stay hungry.
Yeah, that's a very demanding course. Watching the coverage was very fun to watch. It was exciting to watch you out there. Still cannot believe how Eagle somehow won that tournament. It's beyond me. But speaking a little bit about the pressure, I think this is kind of somewhere I want to sit down for a quick second, because I know, especially myself, I deal with that pressure as well during tournaments. And obviously I'm not on near as big of a stage as you. And I imagine a lot of people deal with that pressure, that anxiety, or maybe stress or whatever it is during a tournament. I mean, for example, I guess only I played it. I played a tournament here locally and did like 5 practice rounds beforehand. Every single time it was like +5 or better. And then I went out there and first round, it was a +11. And it's clearly different from practice and actually playing.
Absolutely.
So like,
there's less pressure.
Exactly. So like, is there anything that maybe you're doing to maybe kind of alleviate that pressure or make that round more, I don't want to say relaxing, but it is kind of relaxing. That way you're not super anxious or tight or tense or anything like that?
Yeah, I think it depends on who you play with too. Cause like I play with Hammett all the time, and like this weekend I'm probably going to play with him again. So like, it's just a casual round, like how I think of it. And like when I'm throwing a shot, I'm telling myself like something positive, or just like that was a good release, just a tad off, just trying to keep my mind positive, because I think that helps me in the long run. Just like, all right, great release, great height, just a little lower, and you put it within underneath the basket, or to like somebody told me like, oh, this putt's for the world championship or whatever, or this drive is for the win. Like this is for $1,000. You make this. Everything's like, I don't know, just something to keep your mind off of it. Just kind of focus on the routine and just all that fun stuff.
Yeah, we were literally just talking about that today before we got on here. My buddy, he Snapchatted me. It was earlier in the day, and he had like a great round because he went out with buddies, and he took out a new friend who had never played before to kind of like teach him and help him. And honestly, for me, those have been like some of my best rounds also. Like if I take a new person out and I'm trying to teach them, trying to help them play, and I'm not focused on my game. I'm kind of just throwing. I'm not even worried about what I'm doing. I'm more focused on helping them, making sure they're having good form, making sure they're learning good habits, and I'm not even worried about what I'm doing. And those are some of the best rounds I have because I'm like you said, you're not in your head at all.
Yeah, you're not worrying about it. Just everything just seems so natural here. And like we play a lot of competitive rounds here too in Phoenix area. The scene is huge. So like today they played a round at Vista. $10 a head singles, and like everybody just wants to play that. I think they have like 40 people out there today.
Wow. Just
like competitive round, practicing for the course, and just like they have leagues almost every day. So like I show up and play okay and get some money out of it. So
yeah,
it's nice to have that extra kind of competitive too, and just like the new people I meet down here and all around too. So.
Would you say?
And like a lot of them are newer too. So like we play on Sundays at Redline, which is a course right next to where the Cardinals play, the Arizona Cardinals in Glendale or whatever. Tons of new players come, and like this course is huge. It's probably like 9,700 feet. So like everything's par 4, like longer par 3s. But like for us, like for me, it's like, oh, it's the easy par 4 because I throw it 380 feet and have a 200-foot sidearm approach. So just like it's so simple, and these guys are just like, damn, this is a hard hole. And we're playing doubles too, so it's even fun. So like I played with so many new guys that like I've never met, and now just like they message me all the time. We just talk disc golf and they send me videos. So it's kind of cool, eyes opening.
Yeah, that's really cool. So would you say that maybe putting yourselves in those like actual competitive situations is maybe more helpful for alleviating that anxiety and that pressure and stuff like that? Because I know, especially playing sports growing up, and I feel like a lot of people can say this, for example, you can be putting in your backyard and be like, all right, this is for the world championship. But like, I definitely have something where like the back of my head knows like, no, it's not, guy. It's literally not.
Yeah.
And so like I can't quite connect those two dots necessarily in those practice scenarios. So would you say that putting yourselves in that competitive environment where it truly is do or die is the best way to kind of get over that?
I think so, yeah. It's just going to help you get better too. And like right now I have an elevated basket in the yard or whatever. Then I just tell myself like, oh, this is a steep hill, or this is a mountain, or there's water, or there's lava. Like if you miss the putt, your disc is gone, or you lose or whatever. I don't know, just kind of think outside the box. I think that's been helping me a lot too. So, and it's just like, or the garage, like literally the garage is right behind it. So like if I miss and hit the garage and get yelled at, and I don't want to get yelled at.
Oh yeah, I used to putt in my driveway. And I broke the glass on my garage door because it just bounced off the basket and broke it. So, yeah.
Did you get that fixed?
Yeah, we're working on it. Okay. Yeah, we got other stuff that needs fixed first.
Yeah.
So, I know we got a little bit off track with kind of what we wanted to talk about. I know we are going, a little bit on time, so I do want to respect your time. So I want to ask you one more thing before we kind of get into the ace round for today's interview. What do you think is maybe one of those things? We talked about it a little bit just over Instagram. I feel as though a lot of players, Horatio and I, we're kind of experiencing this right now as well as, you at the beginning get really, really, really good, and like you're improving a whole lot really quickly. And then it almost feels as if you kind of hit that plateau, or like you hit that point of like, well, now getting better is harder. Like it's harder to take
Yeah.
strokes off my score. Why am I only increasing my distance 5 feet, if that? Why am I throwing less far on this drive when 20 minutes ago I was able to throw, 300? Now I'm only throwing 280. What's going on? Why am I missing these 15-foot putters when I know I should be making them? So like players hitting that hump, what kind of tips would you have to get over that hump and continue to get better? Maybe something that you would tell yourself if you were kind of in that situation.
You literally just described like every season I play. So like beginning of the season, Vegas, Memorial, like beginning to, like half the season, 75% of the season, I'm phenomenal. I play super well. Then like once say the East Coast swing comes, it's just like roller coaster down. Just because like I think I get just so burnt out and just like, all right, I'm playing well, then just. But yeah, I think just kind of focusing on like the things in your game, I think were the biggest thing for me. So like right now, I'm playing a lot of the courses here sidearm, just like to tell myself like, all right, you're gonna improve sidearm. Like I know it's an easy hyzer shot over the top, but I'm gonna throw a sidearm underneath the tree and try and skip it up and in. Just like because I know I have a sidearm, but like why? Probably if a tournament for a big win, I would probably throw the hyzer, but like I'm just challenging myself for a sidearm because like playing Waco, Idlewild, like MVP, Maple Hill, just like all those shots, I throw a backhand hyzer flip. But like if I hit it too early or don't hit it enough with the hyzer flip, I'm hitting tree and kicking in the water or I'm OB. Compared to a dump sidearm where I can throw it lower and hit the bottom of the tree and hit the rock wall where I'm safe 100% or whatever. So it just kind of thinking of like shot selection and just kind of focusing on the weakness. So like I played with Tristan Tanner the other day and he saw my first sidearm. He's just like, all right, this is what you're doing wrong. You're leading with your shoulder. Then I was like, all right, don't lead with the shoulder. Then I threw this like hyzer flip with my trace and it went like 425. And he just like, that was unreal. Like, how'd you just do like 300 feet to 425? Like, it was insane, like how quick it learned on or whatever too. So I think that was the biggest thing. Just kind of focus on that and kind of improve too. Cause like, I know Eagle's playing lefty now. Eagle's playing lefty. He's throwing like 380. I saw that on Facebook today. Someone was like, Eagle threw 380 and he threw farther than me. So just like,
yeah. And I think it's, one of the things really important that you said is just focusing on the stuff that you're doing. Like you said, he told you to focus on your shoulder. And a lot of the stuff in disc golf is just like one or two things that you could be doing wrong.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, I know me and Q did a lot. We took video of ourselves. We focused on what we were doing. And a lot of people do that. They take videos and they're breaking down their form, their technique, what they're doing. But then you start to get better. You're doing good. You start to hit birdies. You start to play better. So you're like, I don't need to do that anymore.
Exactly.
I don't need to focus on my form. I don't need to focus on my technique. I'm good. I don't need to. And you stop doing that. And I think that's kind of where you start to hit that plateau. And like you're saying, challenging yourself and learning new things. And you still have to, I guess, treat it like you're always a new player and continue. So do you still record yourself? Do you still try to figure out where you can improve your form?
Yeah, I have a MVP rover cart right now, and I had this little phone holder on my bike, and I just put it on the pole or whatever. So I just put my phone to it and just record it. And my biggest issue right now with like I said, the forehand was the shoulder or whatever. Then now with my backhand, I'm trying to switch it up where my left throwing hand is off the disc. So because like usually I throw it with like kind of like guiding it, but now I'm not guiding it. So that guide usually I hit my chest or I'm like coming out early. So I'm trying to like focus on the reach back where it's straight flat pull. And that's one of the gym exercises I do is kind of like the pull through, just kind of making my body get used to that or whatever.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I think that was a good discussion, and potentially we can have you on again and continue that
Yeah.
discussion. But let's get into the ace round for today's episode. These are the same 5 questions that we like to ask everyone we interview, just to kind of see how their answers change. And I think we're going to have some good answers today. This is the first time we've interviewed someone who is sponsored by MVP. So if you're not really familiar with MVP, I imagine you're about to hear some really good disc selections coming up. So let's talk here. The first question is, you're taking a buddy to go buy their first set of discs. What are one putter, mid-range, and driver you would tell them to get when they're just starting playing, and why?
I would say the Envy, which is the putter, the Reactor, which is like the mid range, and the Trace. They're all beginner friendly, and you can throw them all ways. Like you can putt with the Envy, you can throw the Reactor sidearm. It's kind of like the neutral buzz disc or whatever. Then the Trace is kind of like, it reminds me of the Race, and you can throw it backhand sidearm, and they're super easy to throw. Like beginners, then like experienced players like me, like I wouldn't throw it back in the day just because I was like, oh, it's too flippy, I don't need it. But like the shot shapes where you need it, or like the sidearm where I hyzer flip a sidearm, like you never know when you need that shot. So they're easy to throw too. Like they're not too overstable. And once you develop arm speed, they'll go straight or they'll flip over a little bit. And any course, like 3 easy discs where you can throw them on any course.
Cool. All right. Question number 2. Your favorite course you've played and your number course on your bucket list that you'd love to play.
My favorite course is, I usually say Nantucket Island or whatever. We play the tournament there, but I like Beaver State playing at Milo McIver State Park. That's one of my favorites. Just like Natural OB, it had 2 courses. It used to be an old golf course, and just it's like a paradise there. Like the drive-ins, like 2-3 miles through all these evergreens, and like just being there is something special. And plus, like Oregon is just beauty or whatever. Like no matter where you stay, you drive like down a little bit to it, and the people are just so nice. That one's awesome. I would love to play like the Beast in Finland. I think it is in Finland. Yeah, that would be sweet to go for the European Open. I think that would be cool. Like I played it on the disc golf game or whatever, and just seeing their reenactments, just like that'd be a dream. And like seeing the spectators and all the videos too, like how they sell out like 10-20,000 people and makes disc golf look huge would be phenomenal too. So hopefully next year we can make that happen, or in the future, 1 year I want to do that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool for that to happen for sure.
Yeah.
What is one tip you would give yourself if you could go back to maybe either when you first just started playing or when you first kind of started to take it seriously and taking those next steps? What's the number one tip you would have given yourself?
That's a tough one. I think the biggest thing for me was like being so competitive, like playing all the sports. I took everything serious and competitive instead of joking around, and now it's just like have fun with it. I think I'm having way more fun with disc golf now than anything, or just like making jokes about everything. And so I think that was the biggest thing, just to have fun, to like no matter who you play with or how stressful it is. And I think Germ kind of told me, I had a rough round at Dela one year, and he like pulled me aside and he's just like, you play disc golf, man. It's totally fine. You didn't have a bad day. You just had a bad round. And he just like was telling me all the things I did right. And basically golf is not a perfect sport. Like, and I just like took that to heart now. Just like that meant a lot, because like you think about it and you can't, there's no perfect, like 18 under, it's perfect, but like he missed the hole. It's like, you know, just like that, that thought process was just like, was meaningful to me, I think.
That's really cool and really funny. And today I went to play with my buddy, and he was not doing great. His drives were off, his putts were off, and he couldn't make a putt from like 10 feet. And he missed one that was really bad. And he was like, he just like threw the putt, and he's like, I cannot get my life together. My life is a disaster.
Yeah,
and I just started laughing, and I was like, dude, it was like the worst thing today is like you not having your putt on, like you had a pretty good day.
Something's
like,
wrong,
you're doing all right,
exactly.
but it was just funny. I was just giving him crap the rest of the day. So
yeah,
that's really cool.
Been there, done that. I think I missed like an 8-footer the other day, and just like, yep, that happens.
Cool. Next one. Favorite memory playing disc golf.
Favorite memory. I think it was just kind of like, let's see. There's so many. I think my favorite one was like meeting Chris Clements for the first time. We were in Texas in 2014 and World's Doubles or whatever, and we're starting on hole 2, and he was like on hole 3, so he played hole 2 or whatever. Then my partner was just kind of putting at the basket, and Chris just walks up and he's just like, "I'm coming in." Just like every time I tell the story, he's like, "I don't remember that," and he just like was being a dick to my partner. And I was just like, "Come on, man! Like, what the heck?" Then like that round, it was like downpouring or whatever, and I think we shot like 17 under on like 20 holes. We shredded because like Minnesota guys, like we love rain and cold, and everybody couldn't hang. Yeah. Then like we're in the clubhouse about to get some dinner or whatever, and they're like, "Yeah, those Minnesota guys, they shredded. They shot 17 under, and they're in the lead now." And like Chris said that, and we're right in front of him. He didn't realize it was us, and he just like introduced himself. So it was super funny how we met that way, and just like he was just being a dick. Then just like, "I'm so sorry, I didn't know that was you guys."
No, that's funny. That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Our last question we got for you today is, what is your goal moving forward in disc golf?
Obviously to win. I just like be the best. I feel like every sport and every person that plays a sport wants to be better than yesterday. Just like always want to improve. Like I was saying earlier, I know I can compete. I know I can win. I know I can do all this, and just having the right mentality. And I know I'll get there. And if it happens tomorrow, it's sweet. If it happens in 2 years, even better. Like it's fine. Like it's gonna happen. I just gotta work for it and stay hungry.
Nice. Love that answer.
I love it.
Jordan, have loved having you on the show, my man. I appreciate you coming on. Appreciate your time. Any final words you want to say before we get out of here? Any sponsors you want to thank or anything like that?
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. I'm glad we can finally make it work. And thanks for both of you guys for reaching out. It's been awesome talking to you and connecting with everybody. And I can't wait to do it again. And just basically, if anybody has any questions, you can hit me up on Instagram or Facebook or anywhere you want to reach out, like tips, tricks, anything, or just want to talk about life. I'm more than willing to do it. I got nothing but time. We're just people, but we're really good at Frisbee. So don't be scared. I think I get messages. I think I got like 6 messages right now, so I'll check them later. But you just reach out and I'm happy to answer them. Thank you, MVP, Wander Disc Golf, Birdie Fuel, Disc Golf Strong, and Whale Sex for supporting me through the pandemic and just on the road. So it's been good and life is great. And so thanks again for having me.
Thank you for listening to the Chain Clankers podcast. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Chain Clankers and hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening to us from so you never miss another episode.